Making your course dynamic. Ideas for breathing life into your course. The basic idea behind the Making Your Course Dynamic project is that this is a project that is designed to assist college faculty who may have been teaching for a while with some ideas for breathing life into their course and improving their course. Basically, this course focuses on three core areas that faculty often find that they want to improve in their courses. The three topics are improving student learning, improving project outcomes and papers, and improving learner interactivity. So, the basic proposal for the project, the whole idea from the project really comes from a very good resource that was developed by Patty Shank. Patty Shank had a book about online learning and ways that you can enhance technology and blended learning. So I was thinking about what a great project this would be because faculty are always looking for ideas on how they can improve their online courses. So I began to draft together some ideas, and I originally wanted to work on this project for my place of employment, but it didn't work out that I was able to do that because of the scheduling. So since I was in the internship course, I thought it would be a good idea to see whether or not our instructor felt like this content would be useful when working with the UMBC faculty. And he felt that it would be a useful project because, again, faculty who teach online or blended courses, they're always looking for something new to increase student interest in teaching. So let's look back at these three areas again. And you have improving student learning, improving project outcomes and papers, and improving learner interactivity. Now, I have movies that I created for each one of these specific topics that I will be linking to later on, but I just want to give you an overview of the design process and some of the products that were created as a result of this project. So the first thing that I always do when I develop a project is start with a design plan. So since we were working on this for the UMBC faculty, I drafted a design plan. You can see it has about 13 pages. And this was basically my project proposal that I pitched to Greg so he could see where the project was headed. And I started off with these flow charts. The flow charts helped me organize how each of the modules should be divided. And the idea behind this, if you notice with Module 1, Improving Student Learning, there are 5 topics there. Personal learning blog, a weekly accountability survey, outside classroom interaction on Facebook or Twitter idea, how to use LinkedIn with your students, and how to use image cues. Basically, the idea is not that a faculty member would take all 5 of these ideas and try to incorporate them in the course, but really that they would take one idea, maybe across all 3 of the modules to incorporate in their course. So that was Module 1. There's also Module 2, Improving Project Outcomes in Student Papers. And then there's Module 3, which was Improving Learner Interactivity. So I basically thought about topics and how they align with these 3 separate areas for course improvement. And while I was structuring this course, I had some opportunity to talk just off the cuff, not anything formal, with a lot of the faculty members that I consult with to think about what their problems are as they develop their learning and training activities. And as they revealed their problems to me, I was able to better figure out what some areas were where people were looking to make their course just a little more interesting. And so that was basically how I did it. So then, after I have my shell designed as far as my flow charts for where the topics go, the next thing that I like to do is just to have these charts. I learned this in a course in UMBC. Um, I think that it was in the instructional design project management course. And basically what it is a simple table, and that table outlines the basic contents and what the topics are that you're going to talk about in each content area, which I think makes it a lot simpler. Each one of these items is basically a page or probably a heading in the eventual document that was created. It makes it a lot simpler for somebody to look at it like a potential client, see what information you're presenting, for you to get a clear idea as to whether or not you're putting everything together the way it needs to be talked about, and then for you to submit this to a client or to the person overseeing the project or to another faculty member to see that you've got all the ideas down. It's a heck of a lot less work than rewriting everything if you start drafting the content first. That's why I like to do a design plan. So that's basically the design plan and all the modules. And then somewhere on here, oh, that's it for that. So that's the design plan for the modules. So based on this design plan, then what we did next was we authored the content, and I'm going to show you that content that we authored along with some viewpoints about why we structured the course the way that we did, or the handout the way that we did. So here is the handout that we have created, which can be used by the faculty member. And the handout, it basically has about 21 pages, and it's structured like a workbook, because the idea behind it is that faculty members are busy and they want to be able to drill down and get the content that they need in the quickest amount of time possible. So when I was talking to Greg about what he wanted in the course, it became obvious that this wasn't something that we saw as a formal course. We saw it more as a resource that faculty could look at and tie to when they needed certain inspiration. So in that way, I decided just to make it all just a simple PDF file. I provided the content, and I tried to author it so that it was clear where each module was, and I developed these sidebars and things like that to make certain ideas stand out. Like in the personal learning blog example, there's just a snippet right there that they can actually use in their own course, so to make it visually easy to see where the different ideas are. Another thing that I did, if I scroll back up to the top, you can see this. I put links to videos to both introduce the content and for each of these specific modules, because it groups related content that you can use to make your course more dynamic and improve your course. But not everybody is a person who wants to read through massive amounts of content to try to find good ideas. Some people might just rather watch the videos. And so for those people, when this is a PDF, they can just click this link and it launches into YouTube, where they can view the overviews, which I will post in the course. The other thing that we did to make this a simple resource for the faculty to use is sticking a whole table of contents in here, and that table of contents is hyperlinked. So that way, maybe you are not interested in any other item in your course except re-energizing your lectures. If you just click that, you go right to re-energizing your lectures, which you can read or you can watch a video about it and then go try to apply it into your course. So those were the ideas that we had. There was one more thing that I created for this exercise to help the faculty make their course more dynamic, which I'm going to show to you right now. This last item is essentially a handout. We had the making your course dynamic. It's like a workbook, the first thing that I showed you, that a faculty can go through and read on their own time and watch the videos and incorporate those sidebars. But there might be people out there who just want to watch the video and take some notes on the video, or they may just want a quick overview of these points where they can just review it and see how they might like to implement them in the course. So I made this handout. The handout breaks down the content according to each module, and it also gives them a space to take notes for each specific module. And if you were interested in printing it, there lies the beauty, because it should print double-sided on 5 pages. So there's just a lot of ways that we have tried to structure this content so that faculty can be able to pick it up. It's easily accessible and quick. And the final thing that we needed to decide on was how we wanted it to be presented to students, how we wanted it to be presented to the faculty. So at first, I thought about putting it in Blackboard course sites, but then we decided that we don't really want them to need to register. We want them to be able to just get a link and be able to access it that way. So what I did was I put some of the files on Dropbox, and I have a Dropbox account, so that makes it great, and it gives it a public link, which I've posted in the class for you all to view. And then the other piece of it is that the intro videos, I simply put them on YouTube, and the videos I did, much like I did this one, with Snagit, and Snagit will give you an option to export for YouTube. So I feel that this project was a good use of my time professionally, because it got me thinking in a mindset that was broader maybe than the mindset that I use when I develop projects for my own institution. And it was also good because I feel that this project is useful to help faculty think about improving their courses in ways that make them more interesting, because everybody is looking for ideas. I'm looking for ideas for my own workshop. So it was a valuable experience. It was a nice piece to add to my portfolio, and I would like to thank everyone who was involved in helping me make this project a reality.